all right. Guys, it is Wednesday. It is Hump Day, and it's our favorite day of the week. Why? Because your favorite girlfriends are here ready to chat about football. So Desi's in the house. My girl Beth is in the house. And we have another guest who's going to join us today. So, Beth, what's new and exciting in your world?
Nothing. It's been a good week so far. Other than the fact that, I don't even know if we want to go into it already, about the wonderful defeat that we had, but we can talk about that later. It's been a good week. Thanksgiving is next week. We are getting ready, rounding out school and work for the rest of this week, and for some football this weekend, and for some turkey next week.
All right. No, that's right. Gabriel's in the house. Hey, buddy, how are you? Roscoe's in the house. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe and join us every week, every Wednesday. I am singing a bit of the blues. My Niners team, it's been a season. We're just gonna say that. So it's been rough. But we will get to talking about your game because that was an amazing light in my week. But also, are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
I'm no longer carrying the L on my head. Technics Chick in the house. Woo! Where you been?
Welcome back. We've missed you.
I finally won my first fantasy game of the season.
You just now did. That was week 11, right?
I do know that. It was a painful season for me. I picked all of the players that had massive injuries. Like, it was rather painful. So, I finally get some of these players back now, and now they want to, show out. But it is what it is. Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it. So that's the W that I'm carrying around with me now. Now I feel like I can, I got a little street cred now that I've got that W under my belt. But so let's talk about it, because an amazing event happened. It was the game of the week. And Beth, I am going to go ahead and let you just bask in the glow that was the Bills-Chiefs game. Come on, sis, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
It was so glorious, y'all. Everybody had to have watched some of this game, right? This was the game of the week. Everybody's been talking about it. Buffalo versus Chiefs. Chiefs are undefeated. We're undefeated. 9-0 coming in to Buffalo, where Buffalo was ready to have them. The game went back and forth. Buffalo scored. Kansas City scored. Buffalo scored. Kansas City scored. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth the entire game. It was stressful and exciting and exhilarating all the way. Josh Allen finishes the game with a rushing touchdown for 26 yards on a 4th down with 2 minutes left in the game. Puts us up by 9. It was glorious. 2 minutes left in the game. As you all know, you never give Mahomes the ball with time left in a game, right? Like, you just don't. Fortunately, we were up by 9. It gave us a little extra. They had to get the ball twice. We didn't even give them a chance to get down the field. Terrell Bernard had a great interception at the end of that game, which just sealed the deal, man. It was glorious. It was a great game. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it was just glorious.
Has it just been an amazing week for you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you said what's been going on, it's been a good week. It's been a good week.
The chin is held high. Listen, no one said it.
9-2 now. We won 6 games straight. We have not lost it. We're 5-0 at home right now. Like, we are doing well. We snapped the Kansas City's winning streak. Like, we're there.
I love this. I love this for you. I hate this for me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Technics Chick I'm going to leave it up there because this is just what everybody said. Beth basking in the glow for all of us fans. 100% Yes. I will tell you the way that my setup was is I was sitting in my couch and I was kind of having a last minute like freak out moment because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize your game was on the same time my game was on. So mom comes over to watch the game. So like the Chiefs Bills game was televised. So that's on regular TV. My game wasn't. So I had to stream my game onto the TV. And then apparently nobody else wanted to watch the Bills Chiefs game but me. So I have my phone with my YouTube TV on it playing the Chiefs Bills game. So literally I'm here, TV here, and the Chiefs game on my phone right next to me. And I'm literally like back and forth, back and forth. And I kind of was just thinking, I just need a blowout on one side of either of these games so that I can just turn one off. And both of them were nail biters to the end.
They were so close.
I know. Oh, here we go. Roscoe says, Bills beat them in the regular season last year. It's doing it in the playoffs that matters. Yeah, Roscoe's, I think you missed the episode last week. Actually, Beth said she'd rather lose this game and win the playoffs game because of that very reason. But hey,
but now we just have to win both. So
yeah,
I mean, it can be done. It can be done. If there's a Bills team that can do it, it's this one. So
yeah. So the problem is my game. Nick Bosa got injured. It looked painful. It was a oblique injury. He looked like he sacked Geno Smith, and as he came up, but you could just see it on his face. He just looked just spent. He went to the sideline, did not come back to the game, and production doubled on the Seahawks offense with him not in the game. And we basically penalties. I mean, there's so many things that I could point to that just wasn't awesome for us, but this has just been a grueling season, lots of injuries. And, it's a tough call. And here I am. This is for you, Beth. Love this week for you. We'll celebrate with you because you're my sis, right? But I just looked. I'll be damned if it's not going to be in the 20s. And snow is being predicted right now for next Friday.
I tried to warn you.
And I'm just hoping that Bill's Mafia helps to keep me warm.
Oh, they will. They will. With all the things. There'll be fire pits. There'll be burning barrels. There'll be beverages abound and food. You'll be good. You'll be good.
I know. So yeah, technically.
But dress very warmly.
I literally just Google searched electric vests.
You cannot wear them into the stadium. Don't even bother. You cannot wear electric vests into the stadium.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna need a minute. I'm just gonna need a minute. What? All right.
Nothing with batteries or anything like that. You can't take in.
This just got real, guys. I feel like I'm gonna be on a reality TV show real soon.
That's
so
right.
Nick says after Nick Bosa equals 2 touchdowns, etc. for the Seahawks. Pretty much, yes. She also says feels scarily a little like 2020 season for the Niners. It feels very much like 2020 season for the Niners. Yeah, and this is exactly. So I'm just going to be hanging with Bill's Mafia. We're going to jump through tables. I'm going to get that cardio up and somehow keep that
cardboard for the ground. Take cardboard with you. Put it on the ground. I'm telling you.
All right. Well,
you laugh. It makes a huge difference. You can sit on it or you can put your feet on it. It's going to make a big difference.
I'm going to need all these bullet points. So next week podcast, you're going to walk me through how to prepare for the Bills game. So that's where we're going to go with that. All right. Listen, speaking of Niners, I have the most amazing fan that I met at the Bucks game, not this past weekend, the weekend before when the 49ers came to here in the Tampa Bay area. It brought a lot of the faithful out, and I had a beautiful tailgating with some neighbors and friends, and Beth was in the house. It was a memorable experience, and we got to meet a 49er fan who is amazing. Her name is Aria, and without further ado, we're going to bring her on because we're just talking about our Niners.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Love the hat.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yay. So Aria, I just wanted to ask a little bit about how did you become a 49er fan?
I used to watch my parents play games, and so I recently researched how the game works, and now I'm really liking watching and celebrating the 49er games.
Awesome. Well, we've got some faithful fans showing you love in the comments. They're all saying hey to you. Okay, so I have a great question. Who is your favorite 49er?
My favorite 49er is, in fact, George Kittle.
Yay! And why not, right? He's the great guy. Were you sad to not see him play last week?
Yeah, I really wanted to see him, but he was just out in the field.
Yeah. Well, we both had our George Kittle jerseys on for that game, yes?
We were twins.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Okay, so let me ask you this. What were your thoughts? I guess you can even if you want to share your thoughts on that Bucks game or the game that we played against the Seahawks, or do you want to talk about the game coming up against the Cheeseheads in Green Bay?
I'm going to share my thoughts on the Seahawks game. I am so bummed that we lost. I actually thought that we were going to win, but it was a close call.
It was close, right? I mean, without George Kittle, without Brandon Ayuk, and then Nick Bosa went out, and it's been rough. So,
Definitely.
So what are you going to do for the game this week?
I'm actually really excited to play Green Bay because my grandma, she is a fan of the Packers.
But this should be fun.
And it's just fun to see just play against each other, and I'm really excited for it.
That's awesome. Was the Bucks game your first 49ers game, or have you been to leave?
It was technically my first and technically not, because I went when my mom was pregnant with me.
Ah, remember us talking about this. Yeah, that was a big debate. Let me ask you guys in the comment section, does that count? So her mom was pregnant and went to a game, and she said that was her first game, but her mom was saying that didn't count. So I want your guys' opinions out there. Oh, Tara Dome's in the house now. So Tara Dome says, what up? Oh, yes, ladies' night and feeling right. That's right. That's right. So we've got our newest little fan here, Aria, in the house. Oh, Roscoe says it counts. All right, Mom.
Love it.
I heard that. So we're getting that it counts. Kate says probably not. So, Tara Dome says it counts. Okay, you were there. You were there. So love it. Love it. Beth, do you have any questions for Aria?
What time do you watch your games? So you do not live on the East Coast where we live, right? Where do you live?
We live on the West Coast in California. We live in the mountain area. Gets a lot of snow. It snowed last Friday.
No way. So when you watch a football game, what time is it where you are when you watch your football games?
Usually it was 1 o'clock.
You have a 1 o'clock game? Do you ever watch football in the morning?
Sometimes, but I'm usually sleeping.
You like to sleep in. I gotcha. I hear that.
All right.
Well, it was so fun meeting you at the game.
It was.
Of course, it was fun meeting you guys.
Yay. What do you have there? Is that a hat? What kind of hat is that? That looks super cute. Yeah.
Oh, it's my dad's. It's very fluffy, and of course has the Niner logo on it, red and gold.
Very nice.
You can smooth it out, and it feels like real hair.
Very good.
Awesome.
It looks super warm. I think I'm probably going to need something like that when I go to Buffalo to watch the Niners.
We also have these dolls right here. where it's like a tradition. Whenever the Niners get a touchdown, we press this button and play. And whenever they get a field goal, we play it, and then we stop, and then we all high five each other.
Nice. I love
Nice.
that. Love
It
that.
plays like music. It sings.
Let's hear it.
No, rest. My dog doesn't like it.
Okay.
Nice. That's a seriously long song. He's jamming.
I know. The head moves and everything. That's awesome. There we go. Very nice. Well, I love it. I love the traditions that you and your family have. We and the 49er faithful, we all appreciate you. We love that young energy coming out to the games. Mom, Dad, you're definitely raising her right. We appreciate you joining us tonight, Aria, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right, hon. Take care. Yep, that was. So Terradome called it. That was the Hank Williams Monday night song. I remember that. I tried to make a dance to it in my dance class. Oh, I didn't use this today. Sorry about that. Why does that? All right, Roscoe's, if you're still on, I think I need a new one because I don't know why my head looks so big.
Just lean back a little bit.
Lean back. There we go. That was sweet. She was just such the coolest girl. She definitely hung around us at the tailgate. We definitely had an amazing time with her. And incidentally, you know how big a stadium is. Their seats were really not far from our seats, so it was pretty cool to meet people. That's one of the best parts of tailgating for sure. So, all right. So let's get into some fun stuff here. Beth, I saw you sipping on a little something. You wanna let me bring up the video though that I've worked so hard on.
Yes.
Cocktail mocktail time. Walk us through what you got, sis.
This is a shout out to, this is our Miami drink. It also feeds into, go ahead and put up our video here, our picture. This is this team of 72. All right. So if y'all know history, this is the only NFL team that has a undefeated record for the NFL, right? So the Miami Dolphins, year 1972, that team's the only team without a loss. So I made this for two reasons. One, because we haven't done Miami yet. Yep, their perfect season. So I made it for that, and also just to kind of that little extra dig, because the Chiefs will not have that perfect season this year. So it's true. It worked out perfectly, didn't it? It's tequila, it's pineapple juice, it's orange juice, a little blue curacao to make it look like the ocean. It's great. It's a great, refreshing, kind of a take on a margarita. Really good. It is one of my favorites. A little sweet, but it's very tasty and easy to make. This one was one that you just throw it all in and stir it up and you're done.
Very good. And now let's switch over to the kids version. So Aria would be able to have this one if she liked the Dolphins, but she's not a Dolphins fan. So we'll save that recipe for somebody else, but go for it.
So the Dolphins punch is fairly sweet. I'm going to warn y'all. Even with the sour mix, it's still pretty sweet, but it is blue raspberry syrup, sour mix, and lemon lime soda. Mix it all up. And my kid's favorite thing about this is that you throw in gummy dolphins or gummy. We had sharks. We didn't have dolphins, but it sure looks like one. And you throw those in, and who can turn down a drink with a gummy in it, right? So this is the Dolphin Punch.
Very nice. Strong work as always. And last week we featured the Bills drink and the Bills won. So maybe something happens for the Dolphins. But again, you and I have agreed that we're not watching any Dolphins games this year. We just can't do it.
Correct.
So Aria, I know you're still listening. So this one's for you. Technics Chick said, oops, wait a minute. That wasn't it. Where'd it go? I need to connect you with Steph. So Steph does 49K podcast, 49 Carats, and she's done some videos of fan caves. And so I'll chat with you guys after the podcast to find out whether that's something that I can connect you to with so that you can showcase some of the stuff you had, because that touchdown doll that you have was really cool. So we'll talk about that later. But all right, so guys, I have a new segment I'm really excited about. Let me see if I can bring this up. Here we go. This is Meme-tastical Moments. It's the best part of the internet. So there were some great memes out there, and I'm going to probably start with this one, just because there's nothing like pouring salt in a wound for a Cowboys fan. So this was an actual picture that was shown that says Jerry Jones will suit up to play quarterback for the Cowboys because, yeah, who knows?
Can't get any worse.
You can't get any worse. Aside from that,
you can, and we'll talk about that later. But it can get worse than that.
So there's that. I also like this one. This one I just found. It was TJ Watt or JJ Watt was talking about the fact that Aaron Rodgers has come out now and said that he's drinking water with cayenne pepper in it that's supposed to have like, I guess, an anti-inflammatory component to it. And it's so funny that you sent this to me, Beth, because my coworker was just telling me the other day that he drinks this, but he was doing it like helps to decrease the appetite. So that was his thing. So I didn't even know about this Aaron Rodgers thing. And then you sent the Aaron Rodgers thing. So JJ Watt said this when he found that out, that's what Aaron Rodgers has been doing. He said, "Is this a joke, man? Is this a joke? Go play ball, man. Just go play ball. Try to get better. Try to score some touchdowns. I'm so sick of talking about this. Bleep. You're 2-6. So, I mean, shots have been fired. So we'll see.
But he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
So there's that. What else did the internet help us out with? I do want to show this because, you know, there were some really big splash acquisitions. And speaking of the Jets, they had gotten Devontae Adams on their team. That was a big trade. And the Bills, you guys got Amari Cooper. And so this was just really, really beautiful. This was him playing for the Bills. And it just says, first time in a long time that I've actually felt joy from winning this game. Love, love, love that. So if you wanted to check that out, that was on SportsCenter on Instagram. He posted that earlier in the week. But love that for him. Love that for you, Beth, because I just, you know, these are the moments that I really enjoy learning about.
He's had some good things to say about Buffalo and being there. He's really talked us up really well, and it's nice to hear coming from somebody who's been elsewhere recently and came in. So we're happy to have him.
Yay. Now, here's the interesting thing. So this one, I know you probably can't read, but it's a picture of Joe Burrow, and he's a quarterback for the Bengals. And it says Joe Burrow and the Bengals 7 losses this year. So he went 163 he went 280. Blah, 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 blah. He threw and connected 163 passes on 285 yards. I mean, I can't talk. Hold on. Pause.
Try again. Start over.
Out of 285 attempts, he connected on 163. So it's 67%. His passing yards is 2,156. Guys, this is in insane. 7 games. 7 games. He threw 8 18 touchdowns and only got 2 interceptions. I mean, God bless.
Somebody needs to find him a football team.
Him and Jamar, like literally.
The two of them need to find a football team to play on.
I mean,
They need to find a football team to play on because, God, it hurts my heart.
I feel like that is the toughest person to be a fan this year. Like, it has got to be so painful to be a Bengals fan this year. Like, to know that you can like almost just stick your tongue out to taste it, right? Like, it's so close yet so far away. Terradome says defense must suck eggs. I mean, pretty much. He also said, I heard Amari Cooper drove from Cleveland to Buffalo. He was in the car ready for his agent to say the deal was done. Look, I ain't mad at him. So, yeah, pause. Yeah. Too late for that now, Terradome. Too late for that now. So that's what's been going around the internet. Were you going to say something else? Beth, were you going to say something else? No?
Nope.
All right. So let's move on to the next little segment here. All right.
That's
it's our
favorite music, by the way.
Isn't it fun? I know, right? That, and I do like our intro music. I do have a good time with our intro music. So this is my favorite segment. And it's always interesting because I am sometimes right, sometimes wrong with what I think people are going to say. If you guys follow us on Instagram, we're going to get our YouTube act together. I mean, our Facebook act together. Beth is just desperately waiting for me to figure out my password. But once we get that together, you can connect with us on Facebook.
And then you'll see where I post, where I've mentioned Girlfriends in Football, like on every post for like the last year. I was like, what do you mean there's no activity on Facebook? I'm tagging it every single week. Whatever.
I'm no social media. I'm not the social media guru. But what I can say is, for those of you that do follow us on Instagram, there were 10. I put 10 different pictures. The outfits this week were phenomenal. Now, what I should have done is also sent the pictures, because I think I was tagging. I texted you. I was texting her one picture after another, like Joe Burrow's outfit. I was like, I'm pretty sure I wore this in high school for one of my senior pictures or whatever. It was like this outfit that was so retro, and then
baby blue like suit jacket, but like almost a women's power suit. It was a crop top women's power suit, is what it was.
But also
Hillary Clinton's power suit. That's what we were looking at.
But it also looked like Z Cavaricci's, like the old school Z Cavaricci's on the bottom.
Yes, that's true. Okay,
guys, go check that out. Go to the Bengals page. Go to our Instagram page. Look, no, we didn't post it on our Instagram page. Go check out the Bengals page.
After we said all these good things about Joe Burrow, we're like, what was he wearing?
For real. Like, sometimes it's the fit, but yeah, Terradome called it the power crop top. That's it. Power
right.
Crop top.
Thank you. I agree with you, Terradome.
Yeah. Then I sent you one where I was like, oh, look, it's the Ghostbusters. And then I sent you one that was like Indiana Jones. Like, I was just one after another, rapid fire. But I say all that to say our actual winner this week is from the Lions, which, by the way, all they seem to do is win, win, win. These guys are on fire. But this is Khalif Raymond, plays for the Lions, and everybody loved this clean fit that he had. But I don't want to miss out on who I personally liked. Was from the Dolphins.
He wasn't my favorite, I'll be honest.
This one wasn't your favorite, Khalif?
No. It seemed very
common, right? Like an everyday fit. It wasn't like, it was.
Yeah, like I felt like somebody's dad walking into school type of thing. Like it just like your high school principal.
I feel that.
I don't know.
I think that's so for those
who much more basic than what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, for those who can't see the image, again, you can go to our Instagram page and see it. But it's a khaki suit with like a very faint baby blue button-up shirt and brown shoes. I mean, just it's classic, but it's just okay. It's like, all right, bro.
Meh.
This one was my favorite from the Dolphins. His shirt was just everything. It says, "My granny prayers saved me," and I don't know. I fell in love with that shirt. They were great.
Did you feel that deeply?
I did actually, but Gabe said he gave the actual winner a 7.5 out of 10. Terradome agreed. He said basic. He said it was a safe, classic look. Not wrong at all. But I like this one. I think this one's cute. Yeah, here we go. That shirt is real as rain. I mean, it could, Granny praying for you. I mean, that's it. He's pronouncing it.
I wouldn't have made it this far if my mama wasn't praying for me. So I feel that deeply.
We're gonna get you.
And you did not add and or put in Matt Collins.
No,
I don't know how you
wait,
skipped Matt Collins.
Pause. I got you, girl. I got you.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying. I was like, of all the fits for the week.
You wouldn't let me get there. So
Sorry.
my girl Beth
Go
is
ahead.
in love with Matt Collins. There is not a week, almost not a day that goes by that I don't get something dropped in my message or in my text or somewhere about this man, Matt Collins. We're actually going to do a segment next week of getting to know, and we're going to get, we're going to get to know
He's
this.
the most interesting man in the world.
Yes, Matt Collins. So he showed up to the Buffalo guys. It was the Buffalo Chiefs game. This was like the in-season Super Bowl, right? Like this is that big of a game. And homeboy shows up with, well, he never wears shoes, but I think he's no shoes, black pants, and like a
construction vest.
A
safety vest.
The bright yellow. And is that like a biker hat on his head? Like
No, it's the construction hat. The new stadium is being built like 1,000 feet away from the old stadium.
Yes, but apparently he did this as like a symbol of blue collar. Like blue collar.
I did not hear that. I like it. There you go. All right. I did not hear that.
So that was Matt
Look
Collins.
at you teaching me things.
Every now and then. So that's the rate the fit. And we're going to carry on. Let's do this next. Here we go. All right. So this week's sports and medicine segment, we're going to chat about a pretty gnarly injury, and I'm going to let Beth take it away this week.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to start it. I can't promise I'm going to be able to finish it. So a couple weeks ago, Browns linebacker, I'm going to butcher his name, but I'm going to do my best. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I'm not going to do it again. That's the one time you get. He ran into Derrick Henry from the Ravens. He ended up being carted off the field in a neck brace. He raised his hand, showing that he was alert and that he did have movement in his extremities at that time. When they left the field, they spoke about whether or not he would return. He went pretty much directly on injured reserve from that moment. And then the rumors going around now are, will he return at all? They said that he has the next few weeks to kind of go through some more tests, see what injury is really there, and then make determinations from there as to whether he continues playing or if he even retires. So this is a pretty serious injury. We've got pictures of the neck. So the neck is comprised of 7 vertebrae. C1 is your atlas, and axis is right below it, and it goes from C1 to C7. So those little bony pieces you feel on the back, see on the back side there, are your spinous process. That's what you feel when you are touching the back of your neck. Those are the pieces that stick out. On the front side of this picture, you can see those blue pieces there. Those are the discs that cushion between each vertebrae. And then the body of the vertebrae are these thicker bone pieces in there. Between that deep vertebrae, those thicker pieces, and that spinous process in the back, which is now at the top of your picture, is where your spinal cord runs. So it attaches at the top of your brain, goes all the way down through the rest of your body. What this does, the spinal cord controls pretty much everything. It is the superhighway from your brain to your extremities to everything. It controls your motor function. It controls your sensory function. What happens when you have a compression injury? So when you have a compression injury, what can happen is that these discs, those jelly-filled discs in between here, they're soft, cushiony type pillow. We learned them in school as jelly donuts. There's a soft center to it. And if it gets compressed, the jelly can squeeze out or the whole disc can slide. When that happens, it can push on nerves, on those nerve endings coming out to the side, which creates pain, swelling, loss of movement, loss of function, all of those types of things. So when you compress in the neck, especially when you're in the neck, that controls basically from your head down, right? So if you have a lower back injury, it only affects what's below that spot. So when you start with an injury up at your neck, it can affect everything and anything from that point down in your body. So that's what's kind of so important about this. What they are doing and what they are probably doing is because what can happen is if once it's initially happened, you can have some swelling, you can have some issues with that. So then you have stiffness, you can have other symptoms such as loss of balance, difficulty walking, your fine motor skills can be impaired. Numbness and tingling can occur if your sensory nerves are impacted. And things can just feel heavy, things like that. So when you have those compressions, you have to wait for some of that swelling to go down. So once that swelling starts to go down, you kind of know what the real damage is. So they're probably doing several different MRIs, CAT scans, and different imaging and sensory testing to make sure that he is doing well. The problem with this can be, it doesn't always happen quite as much with a traumatic injury like this. It happens more with, it can happen as you get older as well. So when you get older, that can also happen. You can start compression on the spinal cord and create injuries of that nature. The issue is with this is that over time, these symptoms can get worse, right? So if he has another injury to his neck or his spinal cord, those symptoms could be worse, be more inflamed, and it can lead to paralysis if we're not monitoring it and keeping track. It can lead to paralysis. Can you still hear me, Desi? I'm sorry.
Now I can. You were getting muffled.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what the doctors and what the players are looking at in this situation is how serious was this first injury and how is he feeling through that process. It can progress over time and create lots of injuries and can create a bigger issue down the road, even to the point of paralysis and not being able to play or walk at that point, right? So what they're doing now is kind of hedging their bets and kind of seeing how much damage has been done and how much healing can occur in that time. So prayers out to Jeremiah and his family for them to make the right decision, for him to, I hope that the surgeons and the doctors who are working with him and talking with him keep a close eye on him. Because they won't get an answer for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, very good. Prayers to him for sure. And I'll add, aside from, Beth kind of did a great job with covering the disc injuries, which is, like she said, the shock absorbers between the bones of the neck. So in this picture here on the left-hand side, you can see the white part is the disc. And like she said, the jelly filled in both pictures are kind of pushing out, and it's pushing on the nerves that come out from the spinal cord. So in the picture, you have that white part, that's the disc. The little brown part is like where your spinal column is, and that's where your spinal cord is coming down through the spine. And then off the spinal cord, you have bundles of nerves that go out from the sides of the spine. And so this disc is pushing on the nerves coming out of the right side of the spine there. So you can have disc injuries, but injuries like this could also cause fractures. So you can have a fracture of the vertebral body, which is the part of the bone that the discs are wedged between. You can also have a jumped facet, which is crazy. I've seen one of those in the emergency room back when I worked in the emergency room. Trying to get this, here we go, which is where you have like, it sits here and you can have it where it jumps and comes off. So there's it's not stacking on top of each other,
Like
and it can
stacked
stretch
side by side almost. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And that can stretch the spinal cord and the nerves, and that could be a whole different situation. It can be unstable, fractures, so you worry about whether there's even stability of the bony structures, and then you also have to worry about the disc. You worry about the nerves. It's a very delicate area. So very much so, prayers to him and his family, because no matter what, if he can come back to playing football or not, this is something that will definitely cause issues down the road in terms of just arthritic pain, chronic problems, potential. Even if he needs surgery now, it can lead to additional surgeries down the road. So, this is football, and we hate to see it, but hoping for the best for him. So good job, Beth. Thank you for sharing that information about the spine injuries. So next up, let's go to...
Hold on one second. Pterodome asked if it could be corrected with therapy or surgery or chiropractic adjustments. Absolutely. Therapy for strengthening, like we said, if there's stretching of the ligaments around it, strengthening the muscles around the neck and the spine are absolutely good therapy and rehab for it. Surgery is an option depending on what the injury is. They still haven't told us a whole lot about exactly what the injury is, and they might not fully know either yet. But I'm sure that they're in talks with surgeons and lots of doctors who have lots of experience with this. There's also chiropractic adjustments. I am not a fan of, this is my own personal, I know there's great, I am not a fan of chiropractors, particularly in the cervical region, because of all the things that we just talked about. There's lots of things that can go wrong. Despite their best efforts. So I would not recommend a chiropractor for a neck injury, but that's my own personal, that's my PT stand on that. I'll go with the strengthening and the other things, but chiropractor is not my jam.
Yeah. There's also, Pterodome, other things that can help in terms of certain neck problems, not specific to his, because we don't have enough details. But there's also something called epidural steroid injections that's injecting a very powerful anti-inflammatory directly into the spot. There's also abilities to kind of deaden a nerve. If there's enough chronic nerve injury, you just kind of, deaden it. And then that way it helps decrease the pain that's coming from that nerve, either down the leg, down the arm. So there's lots of different options. It very much depends on what the injury is and what stage, because some cases there's no therapy really. You're just kind of, it's stabilization. So they're in a neck or they're in a halo or something like that. And you're just, helping them keep their range of motion in their extremities. But neck, back injuries, spine injuries, they're complicated and very complex and not something that's quick and easy to fix. So he had another side question, which is, what is the cracking sound when a chiropractor does the adjustments?
I'm not 100% sure. From my understanding, what is it? Gasping? I don't know. Desi, do you know?
That's
What is
exactly it's air. It's air sliding
It's
through.
air.
Yep. So, or it could be the snapping of like ligaments and stuff that
The
you
ligaments.
can, so all righty. So that's that. Let's go on to week 12, guys. It's coming up. Week 12. So let's see what we think game of the week is going to be. It's been some exciting games here lately. Guys, I'm going to admit I was the failure this week. Beth absolutely did her picks. I didn't put my picks in yet. I can't. I knew right before the pod, I was like, I'm missing something. And I'm just getting on and I'm like, I didn't do my picks. So we're going to pick live now so that and then we'll post it on our Instagram page later. But tomorrow night we have the Steelers playing the Browns. So this is another big game. If you recall, last week we had the Steelers versus the Ravens, which we didn't even talk about that game.
No.
That was another.
There's just not enough time. Yeah.
Not enough time. The Ravens have really been kind of elevator down, and the Steelers are definitely elevator up. We actually have a mutual friend, actually a relative of yours, Beth, who went to their first Steelers game. Sorry,
You
girl.
had a blast.
If she's watching this, I love that for you. I can't believe that was your first Steelers game. I know you must have just done all the things and enjoyed every second. So shout out to the Steelers. You guys did your damn thing last week. I would have liked to have at least seen you score one touchdown, but hey, guess what? Your kicker could do things that our kicker couldn't. So, okay. Sorry, Jake Moody.
Keep rolling.
All right. So who do you got for this game? Steelers, Browns.
I picked the Steelers. It's hard to pick the Browns right now with where things are, but they are coming off a short week, so who knows?
My gut instinct was to pick the Browns because, again, this is like division play, and they know each other so well. Stefanski's still such a bad mamma jamma when it comes to defensive coordination, and but I guess I'll stick with the Steelers. Like I said, they're elevator up. We'll stick with Steelers. So I agree with that. By the way, while we're on this, did you calculate who won picks of the week last week?
You did by one game.
Hey, yeah. I only needed that because my loss is so profound with the Niners that I'm like, okay, I won.
You got two.
Yeah, I'm like, well, at least the Bills won. They broke off that Chiefs winning streak, and I finally won a fantasy game, and now so I'm just
You got all the wins. You're good. No enough.
I really wanted. All right, Vikings are playing the Bears in Chicago. I don't think this is rocket science. You picked.
That's another poor quarterback. Yeah, the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings for sure. And then even for the next one, I think we probably both picked the Lions. It's Lions Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. And then Patriots Dolphins. That's interesting. That's an interesting game. Drake May is in the up and up. Dolphins. You made the drink for the Dolphins. I'm going to go with Dolphins. Who did you go with?
I went with the Dolphins. Yep.
Fins. All right. Fins.
Yeah.
And then Sherry's Precious Bucks are playing the Giants. Oh, we didn't talk about it, Beth. Who's the
I know. Well, I was waiting.
You
keep moving. Week? I know. Well, so we can talk about it now. So who do you think is going to win? Tommy Cutlet or Tampa Bay? Because guess who's playing again? Let's sit our very, very expensive quarterback and not even play our QB2. We're going to let them both sit.
Listen, this is your dude.
Going back to Tommy Cutlet. I love that man. Look.
This is Dayball. Talk to me about what Dayball is doing there. Like I
think he's trying to prevent anybody from getting injured the rest of the season. And he's our sacrificial lamb, would be my guess. I mean, they're 2-8, right? Like, that has to be it.
Oh, gosh. Terradome said, who's Tommy Cutlet? It's Tony, isn't it?
You know what? I don't even know his real name.
So it's Tommy DeVito.
Tommy
No, you were
DeVito.
right. Tommy DeVito for the Giants, Terradome. So they called
He
him
was the
Tommy
quarterback
Cutlet.
that they started playing last year.
Yeah, he's
And
the
he
one
had
that
like several good games, and his parents became like the
Legends.
mafia legends, and they
But
were like,
yes, isn't this like the cutlets, like in like the
yeah.
Italian, the cutlets?
Oh, because what did he say? He says he eats dinner at his mom's house every Sunday, or why would he move out? Because he still lives with his parents.
Yes.
He lives with his parents and eats dinner, so he was Tommy Cutlets. There we go.
Yes.
Sorry. Took a long time to get back to it, but that's who he is.
So yeah, so he's in. Oh man, because I love that guy. Like it gave the Giants a story, and I just love that. So but I gotta go with the Bucks. Man. They're coming off a bye. They had a lot of teams on the ropes. They just couldn't seal the deal. So I'm hoping with a week's rest that they'll be able to come out guns a-blazing. So how about you?
I agree. I did the same thing, despite my better judgment, because I really want to see Tommy Cutlets get a win.
I know, that'd be fun. All right. So next we have, oh gosh, we haven't talked about them boys, them Cowboys. They're playing the Commanders, and I just think, and they're playing it in DC. I think it's a wrap. I think Commanders.
Yeah. I would hope so.
Riddle me this, though. How does Micah Parsons go from talking smack about his coach to now saying on his podcast that they're actually a really good team?
So the problem with being recorded is that it can be played back. Like, you can't deny that it was said at one time, right?
Noted.
So let's keep that in mind, because you're absolutely right. Like, there's no way to backtrack that, but apparently he did.
Yeah. All righty then. So both of us say Commanders. So far, Beth,
frustration can run high. Let emotion.
Yeah.
I know.
100%. All right. So the Chiefs have got a chance to come back, lick those wounds that are so deep, and play the Panthers. Wow. So hard. In Carolina.
They have such an easy schedule. It makes me sick.
100%.
Anyway.
Moving right along. Tennessee Titans are playing the Texans. And I'm going to go for the Texans. What did you pick?
I mean, Texans? Same. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of pretty easy calls this week, I think.
Okay. I like what Terradome's putting out in the universe. He says, if these Panthers can upset these Chiefs, right? I mean, let's pull that.
That sounds pretty.
I'm here for that.
Put that into the universe.
100%. All right. Then we have the Broncos playing the Raiders in Las Vegas. This one's going to be a tight game, I think.
You think so?
I think so. I think the Broncos have been, they've been kind of secretly been more solid. I've been picking them a little bit more these last couple weeks. Bo Nix is coming along. They've got a good defense. Sean Payton led, so there's definitely some pluses to the Broncos, but I feel like the Raiders still, they're not, I think it's like two teams.
The Raiders are one of those teams that did I send you that one score game?
Yes.
List? I think they're one of the teams that would have had like a really winning record if they had won the games that they lost.
I wish I remembered where you sent that to me, because I was trying to look for it real quick before this podcast. So Beth had sent me an image of like what the NFL would look like if all of the like one score games, like teams that won by one score, if it had gone the other way. And it kind of broke my heart because the Niners would be way high up on that list. And so would Joe Burrow and the Bengals, by the way.
Oh, poor Joe Burrow.
Bless him. And his Zeke Cavarici.
He needs to go ahead and shave that head and see if that helps. Get rid of that hair.
Listen.
I feel like maybe that hair was bad juju.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about this. What did I say about Kyle Shanahan? I said that his mullet was a bad decision. And here we are at 5-5. And then what did I say about Joe Burrow? I'm like, oh no. Like we're not doing that. I thought he was Madonna, like at week 1. I was like, this can't be.
Poor choice. But see, here's the thing is that he's keeping it going. Like, his hair has grown out by now. Now he's got the boy band. No, it's like highlighted now. We're past the dirty root. His hair should be shaved off by this point. Now it looks like he did it on purpose in his bathroom with a cap and a pull through. Like, that's what it looks like right now.
Oh my gosh. There's no lies. We do no lying. And just remember, Beth, you said everything's recorded.
Well, when I meet Joe Burrow, I'll apologize.
Yeah, right. Okay, and then my precious Niners, my delicate Niners, have to go into Lambeau and play the Packers. So we're going to see what that's going to look like. I have heard, Aria, if you're still listening, George Kittle, I believe, has said that he is available for that game. So we can wear our Kittle jerseys for that game. And we'll wait and see about Nick Bosa at that point too. So, man, Beth, who did you pick?
Sorry, there were children in my room. What game are we discussing right now?
The Niners Packers.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I picked Green Bay initially, and then I scratched it out and went with San Fran. So your guess is as good as mine. My thing is it's in Green Bay, which I think it's hard. Lambeau's a tough stadium to be in, especially when Green Bay is doing well, and they've just been making it work. But here's my other thing is, like, I don't really understand how Green Bay's making it work. So that's why I kind of went back over to the 49ers.
All right, don't hate me, faithful. I'm going to cheer for my Niners. But to me, Robert Saleh is now a consultant to the Packers. Robert Saleh used to be a defensive coordinator. I feel like we played the Packers in the postseason last year, and it looked like we had no business winning, but we somehow turned it around and was able in the second half to go ahead and pull the win. And this was a bummer to the Packers because they really were like, we should have won that game. And it was that close before. The way that we've been, if Nick Bosa doesn't come back, I really find this game hard to win. I'm going to pick Niners because I'm not ready to fully face the music.
That was a really roundabout way to say, all right, we're good.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's that. We're going to move right along. We've got the Cardinals playing the Seahawks. Cardinals, I think, has got that one.
I chose Seahawks.
Okay. All right. And then we got the Eagles playing the Rams. That's an interesting game. I will pick the Rams because, I still can't pick the Eagles because of Nick Sirianni. But I love Saquon.
Well, I picked the Eagles, so we'll see. So there's a couple that we're on different sides of the fence for.
I think you have a friend that will be excited about that. I think you're friends with an Eagles fan, yeah?
I think I am.
I think you are. All right, and then we round out week 12 with the Monday Night Football game. Ravens are playing the Chargers.
What a great game this is going to be. I'm excited to see this game.
This is, again, the Chargers are one of these quiet teams that you can be missing out, that they're coming together. It's coming together. A Harbaugh-led team. So Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. It is. So, and usually John wins these, at least when Jim was the coach for the Niners. So I will stick with Ravens. I think John still wins.
I also chose the Ravens, but I'm excited about that game. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
That will be. Do you think it's the game of the week?
I think it might be. I could see that being the game of the week.
I think it could be too. I think that will be my pick for the game of the week. So, all right, guys. So that's it for this week. Exciting games ahead. We've got some fun times at the podcast next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And is there anything else, Beth?
I mean, no, because we don't have time. But, you know.
Hey, grab your drinks, whether it's the Dolphin Punch or the 72 Dolphins drink that we've showcased tonight. Those recipes will be on our Instagram page at Girlfriends in Football, along with all of our picks that we announced here this evening. But keep rocking with us. We'll also by Tuesday have our fits of the week ready to be voted on so that we can announce the winner of that next Wednesday. So enjoy week 12, guys. Happy football.
Happy football.